Steven, I think they're ready for us. You ready?
Yeah.
So, what's up, everyone? Welcome to our new and improved season and episode of We Got Next. I am one of your hosts of the show, Hayes, aka AO Shifty, with the one, the only, the blindsided Steven at Steven_Springs. We have a lot of things that have happened. If you all noticed with our new profile picture, the cover, we had the art done. So I have to give a big shout out to Fabio. I'm going to give my Portuguese thank you next week. I didn't have enough time to practice all that this week because as soon as I was supposed to get home, I had to go to like 2 or 3 meetings. So I didn't want to butcher that. But I do have something in store for that. It took him a while. I sent edits and snippets to Steven. I sent it to other people just to get their thoughts and just input because once it's done, it's kind of done. But I thought it turned out well. One, Steven, what are your thoughts on the new and improved logo? But then also anything you want to talk about when it comes to any of the Penn State players that got drafted?
I do like the logo. It's nice. I wish you could have changed the shoes one more time for me, but I will not. Beggars can't be choosers. But yeah, it looks good. It's pretty dope to have. Little logo. Penn State players. We had 6 drafted, which was tied for 5th with like 4 of the schools, Ohio State being one of them. Bama and Georgia both had 10 players drafted. Yeah, there it is. Look at my knees though. Like my kneecaps are. I don't know what's going on. Like kneecap implants. I didn't even notice that. I didn't even notice that till now. What? That's funny. Yeah.
He's gonna do, I think, a little bit of updates. But yeah,
Um,
you're muted.
this happens when you're not at your regular station.
No,
Yeah, Penn
apparently
State
being a
got
coach.
drafted. Yeah, I said Bama and Georgia both had 10 players drafted, which is crazy. Um, and we had 2 second-round picks, I think, or 3 second-round picks. Story Porter Jr. being the first one, which is actually the 32nd pick in the draft because the
Yeah.
Dolphins had to forfeit their pick. But yeah, pump for those guys. We should have a lot more. So we have one guy next year. I mean, obviously the mock drafts for the first round come out right after the draft is done,
Yeah.
and we have 2 players in the first round. One of them being our left tackle Olu Fashanu, and I'll talk about him a lot more as the season approaches. But he was a projected top 10 pick this year, but he came back for a junior year. So pretty pumped about that. Him coming back, that is. But yeah, he's supposed to be like the best left tackle, the best lineman in the country next year, which is pretty dope. Which
Damn.
like we haven't had that in a very long time at Penn State, very long time. So that's pretty dope. And then we have a couple other guys. But yeah, it's always exciting to see your school get that kind of love in the draft, and it's good for recruiting too. For sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know that Sean Clifford, shout out to Sean Clifford.
Shout out.
Yeah, picked up 5th round by the Packers. I probably gave him the most shit out of anybody at Penn State fan last year, but some of it was rightfully deserved. But yeah, big props to him. That's awesome. That's huge for recruiting too, for quarterback development. If we have getting drafted in the 5th round, I mean, So yeah, big shout out to Penn State.
Shout out. So a couple of things that I want to talk about because, so we've been doing this based on Monday. There's a new blockchain that's out there called the Sui Network. So a lot of different NFTs have been going over there. So I'm supposed to have a couple of them on. I've been talking to one project called Sweet Frogs. Actually, how I end up getting in contact with them was kind of through the artist that did the artwork because the person got me in touch with the artist Fabio. I was talking to him before, and he is working with Sweet Frogs. So I'm going to have them on the show. But what I wanted to say with all this is, man, this is my exciting time of the year when it comes to finance and crypto. And it's not even crypto I'm going to talk about to start. So a lot of people know what I do for work. A lot of people know we kind of focus so much on mortgages and things of that nature. But there are 3 banks that have gone under. And a lot of people don't understand how important and big that is to have 3 banks. It's about to be 4 that have gone under in some kind of way. So we have Silicon Valley Bank. We have First Republic. We have Pacific. I always mess it up. What it is, Pacific Western Bank. And then we just had another today that is going to be going under, or they're like opening up for sale. I'm gonna see if
It
I can
sounded like the
find it.
name of like bowl games, like the Southern Pacific, Cotton
It
Bowl, or
does.
like some. What was the other one you said? The First Republic.
Yeah,
Oh,
First
dude, like the
Republic
First
Bank.
Republic Armed Forces Bowl. Hell yeah,
Hmm.
for sure. That's funny.
So the three of them, I should be able to find it. But two of them have officially gone under or have been bought out. First Republic got bought out by JP Morgan, so that just makes the bigger banks bigger. Um, and then Pacific Western, they are currently looking to be
Pacific,
sold.
was it? You said Pacific Western?
Yeah, Pacific Western Bank. Yeah, so that's another big one. I don't know why I can't find it yet. This is crazy. Um, but yeah, so those three. And what's wild is I was talking to people at my job today, and they said, "Do you know what all three of them have in common?" And I didn't necessarily know at first. Oh, Western Alliance. So
Oh yeah.
one, they all seem to be kind of be on the West. But what I was talking to one of the directors at my job about, they said, "Do you know what they all have in common?" And I didn't know, and some of the people on my team didn't know, and they said they were all audited by KPMG. So it's kind of big when one auditing firm is the one auditing these different banks,
Yeah.
and all of them have gone under. And people are saying that we're not even close to the end. There's probably at least 100 to 300 billion more dollars that are going to end up being washed out. So that's another big thing, because this all goes into like the lending. And the other topic that people are not really being aware of is the debt ceiling. So we have hit the debt ceiling, and the rumor is we're supposed to run out of spending power in June. What that would mean, if we run out of spending power, that then means a lot of like the lending and things would go become an issue. That means a lot of the people that are supposed to be repaid, that would then become an issue. And then also Freddie Mac, Fannie Mae, and those different mortgage lenders that have outstanding debt, they would not be able to necessarily pay the people that they owe. But a lot of people are just predicting, like it's happened time and time again, they're going to just work with China and Japan to increase the debt ceiling. Which, when you think about that, they don't let us. We can't just be like, "Hey, yo, so I owe you $1 million, but can I like increase it to $2 million? I promise you I'll pay you." That's not how it goes for us. But them, they'll hit them up on the phone and be like, "Hey, yo, so I owe you $31 trillion. You think I can end up like increasing that debt ceiling to a little bit more?" And since, because the US has such, I guess, a good credit rapport with all these different countries, they're probably going to say yes. Japan and China are going to know that they're going to
For
give them the
trillions
money,
and trillions of dollars.
trillions and trillions of dollars.
Trillions.
And then, of course, the big talk is always like, we still owe the Queen, well, former Queen, England and stuff, money from way back when they came over here. But a lot of this whole debt ceiling talk is kind of a big thing that I just wanted to bring up. The next thing I wanted to just mention is, this has been like meme coin season within the cryptocurrency world. And one of them has been picking up steam today. It goes by Guac. Then we have Taco. And then we have Salsa. Why are all these coming out? Because tomorrow's Cinco de Mayo. So some of these might end up shooting and popping off. I know another big one that happened was Pepe. Some people, I saw this one. So in blockchain, you're able to end up looking at everything. It was a dev wallet, of course, but someone had $27 and turned that into $5 million from just one like meme coin. And I'm like, just let me get one of these. If I can just get one, you will not hear from me again. I will not complain. I will not talk. I will not say a word.
How much is it?
But they got in it and only put $27 in, and now their value is $5 million from it. Someone else was in Guac. They put in $250, and I think they said they got out $2,000. So I said, these are great come ups. Like, for you to end up doing that overnight, that's pretty dope for you to do. Whereas me, I try and put $10 in and I have $2. So there's a big difference between those two. But I wanted to end up talking about that. The final one that I wanted to mention to everybody is there's an NFT called Chad. So a lot of Solana people have gotten into Chad. I got in at like 3 different points. One of them, I am above water. Then I swept like 8 or 9. So for everyone out there that listens to this, when I was on Twitter saying that this is the first time I swept in a minute, I swept some around like 5.7 Solana, and it's currently around like 4.6. So I'm under 1 Solana in each of them. So it's not great, but I'm just hoping it ends up going up if the chats can keep doing this. The other side of that, one of the homies, Crypto Daddy, he's been talking about this one project called 0x Encrypt. So that's one that I've been looking at. There was like a stupid candle. I want to find it just to show you all. It doesn't even matter if you follow or understand cryptocurrency, but if you see a candle like this, everybody knows, damn, this is like some wild ass shit. Let's see if I can bring this up fast enough.
Lakers are up by 1 right now, by the way.
Really? So this was the candle in one of the charts. It doesn't matter which world, country, or anything. You see this type of chart. First off, this was supposed to form out like a cup and handle right here. So here's the cup, and it was supposed to come down some for the handle. But no, that shit said we're going from $1 to $3.45. Another reason why something like this can happen is because it only at the time, so it was at 345. It probably had a market cap of 3.45 million. It doesn't take as much liquidity to go in for a candle to end up forming like that. Since then, it has come down. I know I saw it around like 260 or so. But I'm hoping if I can just wait for it to get in a little bit later. My goal is, what was it at? Oh, it's at 271. So it has dropped and it's continuing to drop. I have one price point that I want to get around like 270, which is before one of like the candles. And I use a 15-minute chart. Some people use 1-minute charts. Since this has been out for a minute, you can use sometimes the hourly chart, but a 15-minute chart I used to use in stocks. So I've kept it over here and I can see everything that's going on. It does look like it's forming a flag. That's the other thing. I'm not going to go into technical analysis for you guys, but it looks like it's forming a flag. If it can at least go back down to right where the support-ish was before the big candle, I'll get in there, and then I'll just DCA as it continues to go back down, if it does go back down to around probably like the 232 point. If I can get back in the $1.59 range, that'd be great, but I don't really know. So that's that. That's all I wanted to talk about. Now I want to switch just over into the sports world, and I'm gonna use a bomb ass segue into the sports world by saying I have to give a humongous shout out to this dude named Grimm's Gamble. So I've been following him in sports betting for a long time, and I make some good plays, make some bad plays, but in 3 days I flipped $50 into $571, and it was just off of doing like plus 113 bets, plus 140 bets. And the one yesterday, I was up till 2 o'clock in the morning because
Obviously.
the damn Mariners, some shit happened with their game. It was a rain delay. But the final bet I had was the Los Angeles Angels plus 1.5, and then the Mariners to win. So I turned 240 into 514 there, but then I had some other bets. The other ones that I had 2 days ago were the Cubs. Well, Cody Bellinger, who plays for the Cubs, to go over one hit. And then I had the Orioles to win in the first 5 innings. First off, these baseball games, they knew exactly what they were doing because these damn games are so much higher than they were before. The Orioles just won today 13-10. When Steve and I were growing up, they were not playing games 13-10. It was maybe like 5-3 and stuff like that. Same with hockey. Clearly, a lot of these sports now, the focus is back on offense. They don't really give a damn about defense all the time. If you play defense, they might not like you. But if you play offense, you'll be loved in terms of the world. But I want to go over into the sport that Steven is talking about right now, and that is the game that's on. So talk to me about the playoff series right now between the Lakers and the Warriors, your thoughts on it, and then I'll end up giving mine and we'll segue to the other one.
So LeBron has 12. Lakers are up 28-22 with 28-24 with 48 seconds left. LeBron has 12. I think that if AD is playing like he did the other night in game 1, we had 33 and 20 or 30 and 23, something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that the Lakers could sweep this series, and I don't think there's a team that could handle the Lakers. I mean, we saw what they did in the bubble, like that when like they were healthy and like AD was clicking, like they are the best team in the league.
Yeah.
So I mean, the only reason like they're just they had so much going on this season, like and last season too, with all the injuries, the the new team, the new lineups, and like no one was healthy at the same time. So I mean, now we're seeing the Lakers click, which is they're the best team in the league. Um,
Mhm.
I'll be curious to see how. Ooh, LeBron's got 14. Ooh, oh,
In the first.
in the first,
In
yeah,
the first.
dude's about to,
I had a bet that he would have lower than 25.5 points. That's clearly not going to
yeah.
happen.
Yeah, LeBron's cooking right now, but it'll be interesting to see how the Suns respond after they've been fucking terrible the first two games.
Hmm.
And Chris Paul is out for games 3 and 4, maybe back for game 5. He's going to be reevaluated in a week. Um, Jokic, I mean, that was a terrible stat line for a box score for half, like everybody outside of Jokic and Devin Booker in game 2.
Yeah.
That was like the Boston Philly game last night. That box score was dog shit, bro. Did you see that?
Ugly. It was, yeah.
Bro, oh my
Tatum just
god,
had like 7 points.
hang on. I need to bring this up. Also, I need to send you this link to um highlight tape of Kevon Looney in college. Bro, he was a bucket. Kevon Looney. My man doesn't even look at the rim these days.
No, he
Type in,
doesn't.
like, go to YouTube when you later on and type in Kevon Looney UCLA highlights. And I didn't know he went to UCLA
He
either.
went to UCLA.
Yeah, who knew, right? So Boston Philly last night. Let's see here. I don't care about PJ Tucker. Tobias Harris was 7 of 12, 2 of 3 from 2 of 5 from three, 16 points. Embiid was terrible, 4 of 9. Did he play that much? He had 15 and 3,
He had
27,
27 minutes.
27 minutes. Tyrese Maxey was 6 of 14, 13 points. James Harden was 2 of 14, 0 of 6 from three.
They were blaming a lot of that on James Harden doesn't get to play who he is when Joel Embiid's there. Because how do you go from scoring 40 plus to 12?
Yeah, that's a good point. 12 and 10. And then Boston won by like 34. Tatum was 1 of 7, 0 of 3 from three, 7.7 boards. Horford was 2 of 10. Marcus Smart was 7 of 14. And Jaylen Brown was 9 of 17 for 25 points. But Miami, if that's gonna be a good series if they're all healthy. But I don't know what the status of Jimmy Butler is. Julius Randle looks healthy, so if that's the case, I'm obviously gonna pick the Knicks in that series. But yeah, I would say the Lakers. I'd say the playoffs since the beginning. They had like that one miscue against Memphis, but other than that, they've looked pretty flawless. And AD's playing lights out on defense. And LeBron is. It's funny. I was talking to Kumar last night. My boy Kumar. You met
Mm-hmm.
Kumar, right?
No.
No. Yeah. Shout out to the homie Kumar.
Shout out.
Shout out. That's such a serious shout out. Yeah, for sure. Um, we were saying like LeBron looked old last night. He looked like not that LeBron, and we were like,
Mm-hmm.
but we know that next game he's going to go off, and he's got 14 points already. So that looks like that's going to continue. But what do you think? What do you think? Anyone can beat the Lakers?
I'll give my quick rundown on everything. So for one, in the East, the best player is not Jason Tatum. If they are healthy, I think Jimmy Butler has like they were talking about it. Jimmy Butler is one of the few that have like that dog mentality actually in them. And it does not matter. I don't know who it was that I was talking to, but they were like, yeah, I don't think that he can do it. I was like, I promise you, the Jimmy Butler, they said it took although they always like to call it the COVID year and it doesn't really count for the Lakers. If you look at who performed the best in the bubble, it was LeBron and Jimmy Butler. And Jimmy Butler was like, although he was messing with Rachel Nichols, he
Well,
legit said, ain't nobody coming here. Like, I
he
am
had
focusing strictly on basketball.
he had 45 or I think 45 in the playoffs. Well, he had like a
Yes.
40-point triple double, didn't he? And
Yeah. This man,
LeBron had something very similar to the same game, but Butler just did a little better.
that's how you found out about Jamal Murray. That's how you found out about Donovan Mitchell. It was all in the bubble and stuff. And I'm saying that because if Jimmy Butler is healthy, it doesn't matter who's on the Heat. Like he could play
Yeah.
with 4 people off the bench and they're going to end up getting past the Knicks. The Knicks are pretty good, but I think if the Heat are at full strength, they can win. I also start
Who?
to
You said
realize
who?
there's a
The Heat?
the Heat can win against the Knicks, but that's if Jimmy's healthy. Like I don't know if you guys saw the little look he gave at the end when they were down by like 4 or 5. He was
Yeah, yeah.
like
It's funny
so.
you mentioned the bubble, like how all those guys were playing really well, right? Like Jamal Murray, Donovan Mitchell.
Hmm.
It's funny. I hear people when they those when players are on podcasts or whatever, they talk about the bubble. They're like everyone was just hooping.
Yes,
That's all we like that's all we do, and that's all we could do. So we would just hoop all the
yes.
time. And he's like, you just
Ain't
saw,
nobody got in trouble.
yeah, like you
Nobody
just
was
like,
slapping people in Vegas. Nothing.
no, like you just saw like straight hooping. That's why the action was so good. It's like those summer leagues. We talked about this before, like those summer
Hmm.
leagues when the lockout, and how good those runs used to be. KD, LeBron, Wade, all those guys. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, I think Jamal Murray had, speaking of him, he had a pretty shitty game the other night too.
He did, but I think that's one of those sleeper teams that they're all around good. Like they put that team together, and there are no outspoken people. The most outspoken person on the Nuggets is Jokic's daughter, who's over here pointing
Yeah.
to her finger about a ring. But you have Murray, solid. Caldwell Pope, he's not ever gonna do that much. Like he's gonna give you his like couple threes, and that's it. The twos, and I didn't think he was gonna play ever again. Michael Michael, Michael,
Who?
Michael Porter.
Oh, with his damn
I
back
did
thing. Yeah.
not think he was going to still be playing.
Yeah.
And for him to be out there again, I'm like, damn, that's one, a big thing. But two, you have Aaron Gordon. So between the two of
Oh,
them, like
bothers
you
me.
have both of them, they're in the perfect situations that I don't have to do that much. Just do what it is that they need to do for their team and call it a day. Michael Porter Jr., for everyone that didn't understand my reference. But between those two, they're able to stick with either KD, they're able to stick with Booker, and then you can end up taking care of the middle. Like Jokic and Ayton, it just shows you Jokic is a legit center, whereas Ayton likes to do his little flex things, but Jokic can do that. I think the Nuggets are going to get through this one. I really think that they expected too much from Kevin Durant, and that wasn't going to be the case in the first year. In terms of the Lakers Warriors, I think that series can go 6 or 7.
Warriors are on an 8-0 run, 8-0 run right now. They're up by
Yeah,
one.
I honestly think that series can go 6 or 7 if they win this game. If the
Yeah.
Warriors win this game, it can go 6 or 7. If the Warriors do not win this game, I don't think they're doing what they had to do in Sacramento. I don't think that's happening. In terms of the other series that's out there between Philly and Boston, I think yesterday was the game that you guys should follow. I don't think that first game is the one you should focus that much on because you have to game plan. You can game plan for when your team is fully there. It's tough to game plan with what are you going to do? Plus, you see the outfit that James Harden came in with. Ain't nobody knew what he was
Yeah.
going to do. I
Yeah.
did not expect him to score that much, 40 plus, but that's the James Harden from Houston.
Yeah.
So
And Noah B,
I,
obviously.
yeah. So I really think it'll be, if healthy, Boston again and the Heat, which would be a tough matchup. And then on the other side, that's really tough. It's going to be Denver against one of these two. And crazy enough, I could really see this is Denver's only year. Just like Phoenix had that year, this is Denver's
You,
only chance.
do you think that um the Nuggets are going to win that series? Like, are you for sure not have any confidence in the Suns?
Absolutely. I only say that because it's 2-0. All they need is one in Phoenix. If
Sure.
they get one there, and my other thing, okay, sorry. If Michael Porter Jr. and Aaron Gordon both get injured, it's over. Jokic, Murray, they're great. But if
They
Porter
both get
Jr.,
injured.
yeah, if Porter Jr. has like a back injury, I'm gonna be like, shit, who's gonna guard KD? If Aaron Gordon ends up like having his hair fall out or something like that, I'm gonna be like, shit, who's gonna guard KD?
Aaron
But
Gordon
if
bothers
both of
me
them,
so much. So much. He thinks he's way better than he is. I feel like. I feel like
he's
that's
trying to
it.
not just be a dunker. That's what he's trying to
Yeah.
work on.
Yeah.
But also, if you look at the box score, it is so much more balanced for the Warriors than it is for the Lakers. Like it's balanced across the board.
I mean,
Klay
LeBron's
Thompson
got
is
15, right?
exactly.
15 of
And
their
then
33.
you see Russell and Reeves have 4, AD has 2, and then
80 only has
Vanderbilt
two.
has 3. Yeah, AD
What is
has
he
2,
shooting?
1 of 4.
Oof. He
He
was
has
he
four
was 8 of
rebounds.
or 9 of 10 in the first half last night.
Yo, he was cooking. Like he missed maybe one shot, then he went on a run
See, he's gonna have that dog shit game. He's gonna drop like 17 and like 9 boards.
and get
And
injured.
yeah,
Yeah. But that's honestly my takes over there on that. I do want to go into something super fast before we go into the NFL, and that is sports betting in terms of the MLB. So for everyone out there, I don't really watch most baseball games, but there's one under that I will always do for the life of me, and it'll work out 90% of the time. If they have a pitch count and the pitch count says over under 97 and a half, I don't care. I am dying on that sort of under because there was even one today. The pitch count was over under 101 pitches. I said,
yeah, dude.
you think I'm going over?
It's
Rare. No. And I did under,
yeah,
and the pitcher pitched 88 pitches. Like you have to really think about the long term. And if you look and you see them have like 80 pitches and it's the third inning, they're taking them out soon. Like that's too many pitches on an arm for that short of innings. If you can get 60, 70 pitches and you're in like the 6th or 7th, all right, you might be a little screwed because they might just let them go damn near the whole way.
Imagine throwing 100 pitches as hard as you possibly can.
Yes.
Every 5 days.
Yes.
100 pitches. Like when we go to the beach, me and BJ toss the ball around, football or baseball. Bro, we throw for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I'm dying the next day. My arm is dying, bro. It hurts. Shoulders all like messed up. My back hurts. My legs hurt for some reason.
Yes.
That's so wild.
They're just constantly chucking it. They don't get like a long break. It'll be like doom. And like over and over.
Your arm is not supposed to do that either.
Nope.
Your arm's not supposed to like go all the way back here and like just that doesn't. Don't need Tommy John surgery.
Exactly. But speaking of Tommy John and also throwing, I want to go over to the NFL. And we, of course, recorded the NFL draft last week. Shout out to like the 22, 25 people that listen. I did not know how many that would, shout out for end up like making sure everything was good with us too. So we had a good amount of quarterbacks that were drafted in the first couple of rounds. Who do you think out of the group is going to be like the best or make the most noise out the gate? Of course, when we get closer and then during the season, we'll make other predictions. But right after seeing everything, who do you think it's going to be?
I would say probably Anthony Richardson. If I had to go with someone, I think having the Eagles offensive coordinator from last season in Philly, right? What he did last year, I think what he did with Jalen Hurts, he's going to do the same thing with Anthony Richardson, and they have some weapons. They have Jonathan Taylor, so I think that was a great pick. I think CJ Stroud is going to do well. I wasn't like happy that Will Levis fell to the second round, but like I wasn't mad about it. Like I don't know. I feel like you watch football as with like a trained eye, like I do, to like watch certain things and watch certain players, and like you can tell like Will Levis just doesn't like have whatever it is. Oh, LeBron just banked in the buzzer beating 3. Holy shit! LeBron's got 18, I think. Was that 19? Yeah. But like you can just tell, like if you just watch the tape on Will Levis, he is a cannon of an arm. He looks the part. He's a big, strong dude. Is fast, but like that doesn't mean shit. Like if you watch the tape versus him versus Anthony Richardson is miles better than Will Levis. Miles. Yeah. And I don't honestly know why Levis was rated that high anyways. Again, I've said it before, like you couldn't start at Penn State over Sean Clifford. You had an opportunity and you couldn't do it. And and shout out to Sean Clifford for being drafted. But yeah, I mean, not surprised he fell. Once he got past, when we were doing it, like, dude, there's no teams. And there was like, and if we did think there was a team, it was like maybe like it has to be like the right situation. and none of those situations worked out. It had to be one of the top 3, top 5 picks, whatever it was. So
Mhm.
not surprised by that, but yeah, I would go CJ or what's his name, Anthony Richardson.
So I have one, and then I have two that people should end up looking into. And what we might end up doing is like each week analyzing and dissecting position by position. But the one I would say, and it's only because they gave him a lot of power in the beginning, and that's CJ Stroud. From rumors that I'm hearing, they apparently said he ended up wanting the Houston Cougars receiver to be also there with him. So if that is true, the way that they said, oh, I want him to play on the team with me, he's trying to choose that, and he can kind of build it the way I'm trying to find out where is it. Oh, Tank Dell. He wanted Tank Dell. They got him in the 3rd round. I don't know how good he's going to be, but if CJ Stroud wants that, they have a good running back. I'm gonna go with CJ Stroud. Probably all 3 of them are gonna start. Maybe
Have
day
to, right?
one.
You have to.
Yeah. So like Bryce Young's easily starting. They picked him the first pick. Who the hell do they have there? CJ Stroud. It's either him or Davis Mills. I think you're going with CJ Stroud because the city needs somebody. Anthony Richardson, what do they have? They went with, and I was joking around with one of my friends. I said, look, if Indianapolis shows a black quarterback, some shit is up. Because if you look at their track record, the last one they had was Jacoby Brissett.
Oof.
And it was what
Oof.
and it was, look, we want some, and not race wise, but they need some mobility. They didn't really have that. And they said, yeah, they needed
Good
like
call.
some mobility in there because
I
they
mean,
were
they had
joking
it with
around
Andrew
saying
Luck, but that didn't go so
they
well.
did, yeah. And you have him and the two that are in really good situations. They all have good running backs. Bryce Young has Miles Sanders, CJ Stroud has Damian Pierce. Anthony Richardson has Jonathan Taylor. So they all have good ones. The 2 wild cards that I think people should pay attention to, one is Hendon Hooker. I don't know how long they want to keep Jared Goff or what's going to happen there, but I can see a similar,
Bro, he's
very watered.
25.
I know. I could
25
see
coming
a
off the injury.
watered down situation of the whole Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes. Not saying it's gonna be that great, but him having to sit and it's like, well, shit, I didn't realize he was gonna come up. The other one, and I think because he's in a good situation, Aiden O'Connell. I know nothing about him, but it just seems as though
Purdue
if you have
guy.
a Purdue. Um, Jimmy Garoppolo, everyone knows he's not their long-term answer, but you chose this dude in like the 4th round. You always try and look for who's going to be like the Russell Wilson, the Tom Brady of the drafts. And who knows
He's a
that,
he's a big kid too.
yeah, he is. But other than that, like looking around, if I'm like throwing darts, I don't really see too many other ones. Max Duggan's going to be a
Definitely.
backup. Dorian Thompson, I don't see him ever getting a start over Deshaun Watson. The Tanner's not starting in Philadelphia. Jake Hayner, he's not playing. You got to be behind Taysom Hill, James Winston, and you have to be behind Derek Carr. No, not happening. So that's my thoughts over there. The last thing I do want to bring up with everything is, man, if this deal happens with Lionel Messi, this is about to be some stupid stuff because they're trying to get him to come to Inter Miami. So for full context, he did some stuff. Well, he went to Saudi Arabia. PSG didn't like that. So they are mutually kind of agreeing he's not coming back at the end of the season. So then Inter Miami, they're like, yo, we need to like throw racks at them. They don't realize that Saudi money goes far. And they're going to apparently pay him, and agents have said $400 million annually. For context, they're paying right now Cristiano Ronaldo $200 million. And if you had both of those 2 players in the same country going against each other, people are pulling up for that game. But $400 million, what are just your basic thoughts on this?
I don't even know what that means. I have no idea what that means. $400 million per year
400 million.
to give to a human,
Yes.
bro.
Yes.
Only in sports.
Yes. There's no
Only in sports.
way someone is going to be like, hey, so you know what, we want you, Christian, pull up over here.
Only in sports.
They're not doing that.
I mean, I'm not even sure. Yeah, I'm not even sure what like how to even respond to, like what to even say to that. Like it's just a lot of money. Like that's just so unnecessary. Like just there's no need for that. to give
You
someone
just
$400 million per
money.
year. But I mean, they can do it, so why not, right? Look at
Yes.
look at the Live Golf, same thing.
Yes.
Just give them whatever they want. You
Yes.
finished last. Wasn't there an event where like even if like the guy who finished last made like 1.5 million or something like that.
That's crazy. Like that's insane.
Yeah, I mean like we see Patrick Mahomes had what, a $400 million contract, but
Hmm.
that's over the span of like 7 years or 8 years. We see baseball players, A-Rod got $250+ million contracts.
He's gonna do that in 1 year.
One
1 year.
year. Like I don't even.
I am not turning that down. I was joking with someone the other day, and I said, "Look, I don't care where it was. If they said, 'Hey, we want you to come play in this third world country, but we're going to pay you 400 million,' first, I would question, why are you giving me all this money when I should go to your country? Second, I'd be like, okay, yes. I don't care where it is. It can be in the hood. If you're giving me $400 million, I'm not turning it down. If
Dude,
it's in Alaska, I am not turning it down.
bro,
I will
sign me.
buy
I
coats
don't
and
care
stuff.
where it is, man. I don't care
Sign
if
me
it's
up. It could be on
like
an island that always gets hurricanes. Sign me up.
the
I
Arctic.
400 million.
Yeah, put me on that Snake Island. Fine,
Yes,
I'll
I am
survive.
going 400 million. Oh, I'm not turning that down.
No.
But what you got for everyone today?
Um, Shout out to my kids.
Shout
I
out.
got them for 5 days, solo dolo. Wife's on vacation. With her mom and sister. So there's that. If anyone wants to chill, come through. Be chilling all weekend with the kids.
Yeah.
On some hoops. Um, yeah, just trying to survive, man.
Yeah.
Trying to survive. Yeah,
Yeah.
baseball tonight. Actually, that was fun. We don't win or lose, because it's 4 or 5 year olds. Um, whatever, just meltdowns all the time. You know how it goes. So,
Mhm.
yeah, shout out to my kids.
So great segue, shout out, because mine for today was going to be the Baltimore Orioles. And I'm
Shout
saying
out.
that because they have a good record. They are 21-10.
Yeah,
That is unheard of. So for us people in like the DMV area, the Orioles being good, we don't remember them being good since they had like Adam Jones, Manny Machado, and before that, Cal Ripken Jr. So for them to be good now is wild. And I mentioned this last year. I don't know how many people really remembered when I said it because he was in the minors, but I got to see Adley Rutschman play. My man can hit.
Yeah,
Like the way you could just tell a professional player, no matter where it is, like the hit off the ball, like half the scouts there, they were like,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. He's
Like
nice.
even like some of the parents that were there, they're like, yeah,
He's
like this
nice,
is different. Like you could just hear when it hits off the bat. You can hear like when he catches it. It was just one of those he had a home run in the game, and you're like, yeah,
bro. Speaking of home runs and hitting bombs, fuck, Shohei Ohtani, man, is just a monster.
different. Yeah.
Like people, we just don't talk about him enough. He had a home run the other night. It was just so loud, like
Hmm.
just so loud. I mean, there's no one at Angels game, so it's whatever. But it was so
There's no one at
loud.
athletics games either.
No, dude, you want to talk about tanking? That's crazy. Um, yeah, no, sorry, I didn't interrupt you. What you got?
No, but yeah, it professional baseball players are so different. You can tell like NBA players, football players, yeah, they have the gifted ability, but baseball players, there's a difference between
It's a
a
different
minor league
athleticism.
pitcher throwing a 70-mile-an-hour fastball or whatever, and a major league pitcher. Like when Randy Johnson was coming out, y'all knew like that man can throw at
Bro, he's
100. Oh,
6'11".
I
What?
know, I know.
What?
Insane.
And throwing
And
fucking gas.
yes,
And he's like halfway to the mound, like halfway to the home
yes,
plate, dude.
exactly.
His stride, like his lead foot. I mean, you look at pictures, like it was nuts, dude.
Dog, and all he
Nuts.
wanted to do was take pictures. This man is a photographer.
Yeah,
Like
what?
that.
What?
That's what he wanted to do with his life.
He was on the Dan Patrick show like a long time ago when I would watch it every day. And he talked about it and he's like, so Dan's like, so what's retirement like, or what are you doing these days? Whatever. You go and take pictures. I'm like, what the
That's all
what?
he was.
Probably hangs out with Bill Walton too.
That's all he wanted to do.
Bro,
Take
six
pictures.
eleven throwing,
Six
and he
eleven.
had like the mullet too when he was in Seattle.
Yes.
A bird in spring training.
Yes, yo, that
Crack
was
that bird
crazy.
open.
I will never forget that because the timing it takes for you to hit a bird, that joint just went
Poof,
like life
poof.
was over.
God. But that
There's
was
only
100
so
miles
much
an hour
feathers.
straight down the middle. Hit that fucking
Yes,
bird right in the fucking stomach.
yes.
That's
Like
unbelievable.
done. You ain't see the bones or anything. It just all
No,
disintegrated.
just the once in a
But
lifetime thing. Oof.
that's the only thing I wanted to talk about. But because you brought it up, I'll end with this. Yo, the Oakland A's need to get the hell out of Oakland. They are barely struggling to get 2,500 fans. 2,500 fans, and that's the same stadium that the Raiders played in.
Yeah.
2,500. So
Sucks.
you have essentially more maintenance crew, staff, players, general managers that are at that game
I mean,
than fans.
yeah,
Where's
barely.
the money coming from? And that's when it happens that you have these collective bargaining agreements that everyone's sharing the TV revenue. Because I know the A's are damn near the bottom of the barrel with this stuff.
Yeah, they're like payroll wise and all that kind of good stuff. They're worse than the Pirates are, which is tough.
That's tough. And the crazy part about it is the Pirates aren't even that bad this year compared to them.
No,
The
the
Pirates
20
are
they're
20 and 12.
they're on a skid right now though. They were
Yes.
20-9 a hot second ago. They've lost. I think they've lost 3 straight. They're playing the Rays right now. It's
But you
tough.
know what they're not?
The A's.
6 and 12. And we
Yeah.
out.
Peace.